to get this set up. Maybe I should have done this before going live. Welcome to my studio, everybody. Let's see how's that. Let's see if you'll be able to see me. Okay. My influencer light is not one of the legs is not working too well. This might work okay though. Oh, so let's tip it over. Hang tight. Let's see if I put something in front of this. Yeah, that seems to be all good. Okay. Let's see how it looks if I'm over here. Hello. Happy Sunday. I'm just in my studio. So this is a practice pad coffee table from Beetle Percussion, and they make my favorite drum pads in the world. But I love this one just for group classes. I've had 5 or 6 of my students around here, and I put my iPad right here, and then we're good to go. So hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. I was just going to take you through sort of the typical warm-up routine for me. So there's a great book that they're called The All-American Drummer, Charlie Wilcox, and there's all these short, beautiful solos. I'll just hold this up for a second. And I love warming up with these. And some of them aren't actually a warm-up. They can get quite difficult. But I'm going to take it nice and slow and just work through this, and just shoot me a message if you got any questions. That's better. From seeing my sticks. Okay. Just toss this up here for now. So I take things really, really slow at first, and then I'll try gradually speeding this up. So this is solo number 1, All-American Drummer. And let's get maybe a tempo like was in Barcelona this summer. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Every Wilcoxon solo has something really, really, really interesting in it. He's big on syncopation. Syncopation being those unexpected rhythms. So, for example, on line 3 of All American Drummer, it does something like this. That last one to me is so hit. I'm just going to play 2 bars, I'm going to loop them. Wilcoxon always had jazz drummers in mind. I don't know if he was much of a jazz player himself, but Joe Morello from Dave Brubeck's band was a huge fan of Wilcoxon, and a lot of his solos are influenced by rudimental drumming. Thanks, Danny boy. Thanks, Flora. Barcelona Espectacular. Sí, muy bonito. Absolutely beautiful. So, as I mentioned before, this table here, this is Beetle Percussion out of Kansas. And the dude makes these in his garage, and they're my favorite pads. They're totally affordable. This one in particular is awesome because it's huge. I can run group classes on these. For myself, it's got, depending on where I hit it, there's different tones. This pad is $160. And I think it was $20 to ship it out to California. Which, truth be told, is not crazy at all. And considering I've had this for about a week and how much fun I've had with this, with my students, it's been worth every penny already. And here's an example of one of his more sort of typical pads. So this is probably, I'm going to say 9 inches maybe diameter. And this one's heavy, almost as heavy as this. This is a serious piece of wood. And this would be much more for marching. You get crazy rebound. I'll play solo number 2 from All American Drummer. So I thought I'd just step on here, and I'm on my band's account. The band is Janesparty, indie rock band from Canada. I live out in California though. And we're at a nice sort of intersection of music performance as well as music education. So I wanted to jump up here and just sort of talk drums and what I go through to sort of warm up, any questions you might have, just throw it in the comments. So here's solo number 2. And I'm not sight reading this per se, I've done these before, but I'm sort of sight reading them. I haven't seen it in a while. I go really slow and focus more on accuracy than anything else. And also just making sure that I'm having a good time practicing it. So that's why I usually change up what I practice. I often change it up. Give me a second here. That's it. Will Coxon puts in these 7-stroke rolls, but due to the nature of where they are, they're triplets, 16th note triplets. So E and 2, E and 3, and 4. That's it. Flam paradiddles. Drags. Drag paradiddles. And then what's the timing on that? So so that's a 9-stroke roll. Please leave the video available for later watching. Yeah, I got you, Danny. No problem, man. So, talking about rolls, just to be familiar with the rolls, when it says like 7-stroke roll, for example, that's double strokes, adding up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these are drum rudiments. So a 9-stroke roll would be 9 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I usually practice them right hand and then left hand. Nice and slow. And I wasn't so big into rudimental drumming until I moved to the United States 3 years ago. And a lot of my students learn marching percussion. And then I've started to really explore how rudimental drumming and jazz drumming, rock drumming, how they can all intersect. Hey, what's up, guys? Any questions? My parents just tuned in. So everything I do is going to be really slow at first. I'm going to roll through this solo again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a few things in there, flams. Oh, thank you. Rock the Casbah. I love this song too. This is one of my favorite drum books, period. It's called The All-American Drummer, Charlie Wilcoxon, published in 1945. And it's some of the hippest material out there. It really is, it's incredible. I don't even know if I was playing that totally correct, but I got a lot out of that. You'll hear these drags. So that's called a drag. That's when one stick's going to bounce twice before the other. So these are drags. And then we have flams. That's when one stick lands just before the other. So this last line here, we've got and then we're back to the top. Basic guitar. Oh, cool, cool. I actually play drum set mostly. I've got a drum set behind me, but that's what I've been playing around with lately. So as I was mentioning, this is Beetle Percussion. This is out of Kansas. These are the best practice pads I've ever used. And this one in particular is special because it's it's 24-inch diameter. But I love using it with my students. Everyone sits around. We've got a slot here for the iPad or for the sheet music, and it saves needing a lot of separate stands, and it's just fun to have everyone gathered around playing together. But I've got a bunch of different pads. So here's the Beetle marching pad. This one's great. This is the Zildjian Reflex. So this is double-sided. So this is a spongier. You can actually hear a huge difference. And then on the other side, it's got even more absorption, so it really doesn't bounce. So this is really good for building muscle. But you'll notice the difference. This is me really trying to get rebound out of this pad. This is me barely trying to get rebound out of this pad. Okay? Now, what I usually do when I have time, space, and energy is I set up multiple pads to recreate a drum set, and I even have a practice pad for my foot as well. Part of it is just to have a diversity of sound. But a big part of it is getting used to different rebounds on different surfaces, because when you play drum kit, you've got a bunch of distinct feels. You've got your tom-toms, which tend to bounce quite a bit less, especially for me, because I like to keep them lower tuned. I've got my snare drum, which bounces more than the toms, but not as much as the cymbals, which bounce the most. So it's good to get used to playing on different surfaces. And I can even roll through this solo between the 3 different surfaces. Maybe I'll even throw a 4th out there. I've got so many practice pads, it's crazy, but I love them. This is a really fun practice pad right here. So this is the Evans, a tactile coated pad. And the reason I like this one, first off, it's got that classic real feel. Pad base. So Evans bought HQ Real Feel, which is probably the most standard pad in the game. But then they put this coating on it, and this coating allows me to play brushes on this. And everything you practice with sticks, you can practice with brushes as well. It's just, you're not going to get the same rebound, so you sort of have to adjust how you're interpreting these rhythms. Okay. The other thing I always roll around with is a ton of different sticks, and it's the same sort of concept that I have with the practice pads as well, is that I want to get used to playing with different feels, different sounds to an extent as well, but really it's about getting used to being uncomfortable. Like if all I did was play on this pad, I'd get really good at playing this pad, but if I went to sit on a drum set, I'd likely have some issues because the drum set doesn't feel like this pad. So I want to be, I want to have a certain amount of discomfort in a way so that I get used to that, because whenever I play drums, there's so many different things that can happen. There's so many different feelings in terms of the surfaces, in terms of how I have to hold my sticks to get the best rebound. So I got a bunch of different toys. These are headhunters. These guys are out of Burlington, Ontario, which is close to where I'm from. I'm from Toronto. And they make these incredible line of, I don't know what I'd call them. I'm going to call them sticks just for the sake of it, but it's well beyond just sticks. They're called creations. And it's not only the sound that I'm looking for, just the way that they feel when I'm playing them. And maybe I would do something like this, just to really give my hands a challenge. And when you're using different sticks or different surfaces, you really have to concentrate on how things sound. Like, I've got a stick in one hand, I've got this creation in the other, which is like sort of a shaker with like a little wiffle ball on top. How do I balance that in a way that it sounds good? So I'm really going to pay attention to the volume of them, creating different sticking patterns. Now the sticks that I'm using these days, pretty much exclusively, except I have a ton of different sticks in my bags, but these are Rohima. So these are made in Germany. And these are maple. These are like pipe drumming sticks. So the artist is Alan Craig out in the UK. And I've actually never felt marching sticks that have had such incredible rebound before. There's a really long taper, and you can just feel where there's a perfect point to get rebound. Like that feels pretty effortless, whereas with other sticks, it wouldn't feel so good. This just has an incredible balance point. And because it's maple as well, it's gonna bounce more than hickory. Here are the Rohima brushes. They're a great company. I really, really like these a lot. And then I've got a whole bag full of toys here. So here's some Rohima bamboo rods. So I'll play part of the solo, but with these. That's better. I can't go as fast with these. They don't bounce as much. That 9-stroke roll there is tough because it goes slow. The 7 strokes faster. It goes like this. So that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the 9 at the end goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's way slower. Dun, 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 dun. Ba da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And remembering that rolls are double strokes. So I'm going right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. And getting this going is very different than getting, let's say, with brushes. I don't even know if I can do this with brushes. Sort of. Sticks are the easiest. Now those are single strokes. And then I've got a whole slew of sticks here. Like, here's Rohima as well. But these are Rohima hornwood, which is way stiffer. It's a hardwood from Germany, but it reminds me of playing oak drumsticks. It takes a little more to get the inertia going. But these also feel great. The Rohima stuff is really nice. I'm actually working on bringing in a pair of sticks for a lot of my students because the distributor for Rohima in the United States is fantastic. Rubik's Drums. Out in Connecticut. And they've made life really easy for me, and honestly have made me a bit of a convert. And then they've got all these cool things too. Like, here's another, these are Rohima, the poly brush. And maybe I'll even try to solo with these. And sometimes different tools inspire different musical creations. Sometimes I'm just looking for sort of a change of pace when I'm playing just my usual warm-up routines. So this is solo number 3. I'll play the first 2 lines with sticks first, and then I'll play them with poly brushes, just so you can hear the difference. And hit me in the comments if you have any questions. It's been amazing to see how many people have tuned in. I'm gonna start that again. that go actually? Oh. So anyways, this is sort of a nerdy drum thing, but the way that Will Coxon writes out certain rolls are quite interesting. I can go into that in more detail. Maybe I'll do a more specific live dedicated to Will Coxon solos. That was sort of it. I think I played that 15-stroke roll as like a 30-stroke roll, but here's the same thing with the poly brushes. That was it. Like, I don't know how this dude came up with this stuff in the 1940s. It's just so good. I want to try to play this one at a more reasonable tempo, so you can just really hear how hip it is. Something like that, pretty close. I'm gonna do it one more time. That was pretty good, actually. It's one of the better times I've played it. And then, like I was saying before, maybe I would try it between two different pads. So as you can tell, I'm making quite a few mistakes. I always tell my students I'm probably going to make more mistakes than you will, so don't worry about it. I'm sight reading these right now, sort of. I mean, I used to work on these quite a bit. There's 150 of them. And actually, one day I would like to record all 150 of them, throw them on the YouTube channel. So Janesparty, as I mentioned earlier, we're at the intersection of being a professional band, but also being music educators. We do both professionally. So our channel features a lot of the music that we're doing, the cover songs with other artists, but we also have our rock and roll roadshow. Which is our education series. And one thing that I'm building over the holidays, because Los Angeles is on school break already, which is it's really nice for everybody to have 3 weeks. And I've got some time to play catch up on some things that my students really want to learn. So making sure that the 40 drum rudiments are all recorded and ready to go. And then I'm going to start getting into a YouTube series of just basic drum beats. So I want it to be something that anybody could tune into, and with you know, without needing to decode too much, can pick up some really cool drum beats quite easily. So at least that you have somewhere to start, and then get into more advanced stuff from there. But one thing I would say to my students is, a lot of the stuff you hear me play live, I'm not rewriting the book on drumming. A lot of it is historical. It's the same beats that the Beatles used, and then Led Zeppelin and The Who, and you know, jazz drummers like Max Roach, and soul drummers like Bernard Purdie, and funk drummers and disco drummers. A lot of it falls within a very similar vein. So once you get started, if you learn a few basic beats, it's quite easy to get yourself going with a lot of your favorite songs. And that's one way that I teach, is how can we get you up and running with your favorite songs. Brian Glazer, thank you. I love what you're doing. And the way that I teach is that you don't need to know every single John Bonham lick to be able to play along to your favorite Led Zeppelin song. In fact, being able to play along with your favorite songs might be that inspiration you need to just continue going, because that's what this is. It's a marathon. You're just constantly adding a few new things, maybe every day or every week, to improve yourself as a player. I'm going to put on some stuff, and I'll show you some warm-up exercises along with songs in that vein. I have a metronome, and I practice with one, especially when I have to, which, depending on what I'm working on, it is a necessity, but I like to play along with music. It's way more fun, and you build a fluidity. You build a real sense of time, not necessarily a metronomic time, which is important for different purposes, but being able to play in a way that has feeling and is imperfectly perfect, if that makes sense. And this is pretty amazing. I'm seeing over 50 people here. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. That's incredible. I'm hoping to do this every Sunday. I'm usually at my studio teaching, but I purposely don't teach long days on Sundays so that I have some time to do stuff like this, and also just play catch up on a lot of the stuff that that comes up during the week. So if anyone has a request, throw it in the comments. But I'm really digging this song, and I'm not a huge new pop person, but I really love this song Appetite by Rose and Bruno Mars. Let's see if we can get it going here. And I'm just going to cycle through some hand patterns.
캘리포니아 비용을 지원해줘. 또 여러 실버 레벨 플랜이 코페이도 낮고 공제도 없어.
The YouTube ad should be paying me for advertising on YouTube. So first thing I'll do, I'll identify the pulse. I'll see how many counts there are in the measure. So the pulse is like this. Pulse is usually what you're when you're tapping your foot, it's naturally going to gravitate to the pulse. And then I need to know how many beats are in each pattern, in each cycle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So we're in 4/4 time. And I'll start with some singles, I'll go into some doubles, and then I'll do some paradiddles. I'm trying to play like I'm really like feeling the music. I don't want to be too rigid. I'm gonna try paradiddles. It's a little fast. Doubles. This is why I changed pads, because it makes it actually quite a bit tougher. Singles. Still singles, just moving around. Doubles. Between two different surfaces. Paradiddles. Doubles. Eights at a slower speed. There's just so many ways to practice to music that just makes it way more fun. I'm gonna put on a Beatles song now, and I'm gonna see if I can do one of these All-American Drummer solos. Now, anyone out there that doesn't play drums, singles is when you alternate your strokes. So you're going right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, or left, right, left, right. Doubles is 2 in each hand. Doubles are great because we can speed them up really easily. Paradiddle goes like this: single, double, single, double, single, double, single, double. I probably practice paradiddles the most just because you can create such great musical patterns with it. Can't go much faster than that. Okay, Let It Be by the Beatles. One of my favorite songs. Let's go with this version. Sorry, another healthcare advertisement. So same thing, I'll identify the pulse. And like I said, it's usually where we naturally tap our feet to. So this is my feeling for the pulse. And then I'll find how many beats are in that cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, if I tried a different number, it wouldn't work. Listen to this. Here's 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't work. So I know this is in 4/4 time. It's got sort of a medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's way more fun. I'm gonna try number 2. I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes though, unfortunately. Now I'm just making stuff up. But actually, I'll show you a technique that I use a lot. And obviously, I'm just playing with my hands right now. I mean, my feet are moving, but... Oh, thank you. Thanks, Dee Dee. My hands are doing the bulk of the work. I don't have any pedals. I'm just playing on practice pads. My feet are still moving. But one thing I like to think a lot about is how do you fill space on the drums, because, and not that you always want to, but it's nice to have the option. Like, if you think about a melodic instrument, the tone can hold for a certain amount of time, right? Whereas with a drum like this, a non-melodic drum, like not marimba or xylophone or something like that, you hit, and then it comes off. There's no sustain. What I like to try to do though is, when I'm playing along to songs, sometimes I'll do what's called a multiple bounce or a buzz. But I like it to be a slow buzz on purpose so that it fills that entire space. And I'm not thinking about a specific rhythm. You could even do it with the right hand too, just for some effect. And with a song like Let It Be, it's perfect because it's got that slow medium. So even if I'm not playing all the time, I'm still thinking that. That way I can really feel, you can feel the space moving more, instead of like a marching drum, like rah, 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 rah. I'm feeling it more moving like this, rah, like with a bigger space in between, and that's how you can create a really nice feeling. The term that musicians use is the pocket, to create a very nice pocket that everyone else can sort of, build on top of. So I'm just going to play along to this as if I'm playing drum set, which I'm not, but you might hear my foot sort of stomping on the ground a bit, but I'm going to fill some space. And maybe, yeah, we'll try this. Thanks, Jessica. Yeah, so I was just, hey, how are you, Jessica? I was just demonstrating just ways of using rhythm to fill space. Like, I wouldn't be that busy if I was playing this song on stage. But I'm just demonstrating, like, you know, using space to groove. Oh, nice. I'm gonna put on one more song, and then I have to roll because I'm picking up 3 more practice pads on OfferUp because I'm trying to get all my students into drumming. Anybody have a request? And before I go, I'll shout out just everything on all my tools today. So I've got Headhunters, Canadian company near my hometown of Toronto. And they make creations, so this is just one of their creations. They make a ton of stuff. I'm gonna pick up some more over the holidays for sure. And then Rohima. These are made in Germany. Some of the nicest sticks I've ever played. And the distributor in the United States is the nicest guy. So I've got a bunch of their stuff that I'm trying out. This is the poly brush. Oh, you want me to play something difficult? This is tape rods, bamboo. I've tried bamboo drumsticks before. They don't work as well as I would like because bamboo is actually quite a bit more sustainable. It grows way faster. But they're perfect for the rods. For the sticks I've had, haven't really found anything I've loved. And then these are the Rohima brushes, JB1. Now the pads I'm using, this is the Evans Tactile, which is like the classic drum pad, but it's got a coated surface so you can practice brushes on it. And then I've got my Beetle percussion. I've got my Beetle percussion table. It's called the BAP, B-A-P. And it's the size of a small coffee table. And then I've got the marching pad too. It actually makes sort of a nice combo. And my newest acquisition, this is showing it to everybody today. This is D-Drum. They make a backpack that has a built-in stick bag. So I walk around with this all day, and it's fantastic. It really is. So I'm grateful for all these companies coming up with cool stuff. I'm gonna do one more too. I had a request for a hard one. I don't play all that many hard songs. I guess they're all sort of difficult in their own way though. But I tend to play along with songs that I just really like to sing to. So let's try, I'm thinking Tom Petty, an American Girl. It's got a nice double time feel. Let's give this a try.
Amazon customer reviews.
Oh.
Performed by a real serious actor. I kept getting asked, hey, what brand of mascara do you use?
So here's the pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the backbeat. Backbeat, I always think about like where would you naturally clap? Once you have the pulse, you have how many counts there are in the backbeat, you're good to go. Not possible. Double strokes. Less expensive toys though. And when I'm practicing, I'm trying to get myself up to where I might be when I'm performing, just to build my stamina. Clap, jump, twirl, clap. Maybe next time. Awesome. All right, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. Love your mom and dad, Auntie Bryna. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next Sunday, if not before. Check out our YouTube channel. Got lots of stuff. A lot of non-drumming stuff as well. All right, see you everybody.